Hello everyone, as you know, about 2 weeks ago, the Marvel Rivals Season 1 came out. 2 new heroes were added and there were numerous buffs and nerfs. In this video, I'm going to talk about how I believe the current meta in Ranked is going to shape. As of last season, I believe that the strongest Vanguard combination was most likely Doctor Strange and Hulk, as the team up is really good, and it brings Iron Man from a B character to an A to even a potentially high S in Diamond and Grandmaster lobbies where you can ban characters like Hela and Hawkeye. I'll talk more about that later. But as of right now, I really don't think that tank play is going to change that much. I still think Strange is the best tank, although Thor is in a really good spot and Hulk just isn't performing as well as he used to. Hulk is still incredibly strong and a great secondary option, but I do think we're going to see a lot more Thor play. As well as if there's any potential nerfs to Doctor Strange in the season, I could definitely see Magneto come in as a strong primary tank. With his bubble, mag cannon, and his shield, it's just great survivability and an all-around amazing kit. I personally have a lot of hours on Magneto, and I could definitely see him coming into the limelight this season if Strange is nerfed. This is definitely going to be the longest part of the video because there is a lot to cover, so I'm going to start with the nerfs. Hawkeye received a pretty big nerf to his kit, making it to where he is no longer to be a super long-range threat. He used to be able to one-tap at distances of 60 meters. As this season stands, that has been changed to about 40, as well as keeping the extra damage from the 100% charge from 80 to 70. While still being able to one-shot, I doubt that we will see as much as Hawkeye this season as we did last season, as this makes him play more in the front, which leaves him vulnerable as he doesn't have as much movement as other characters such as Hela. Although Hela's nerf was not as noticeable as Hawkeye's, she still did get nerfed, going from 275 HP to 250 HP. I really don't think we're going to see a much less of Hela, although I do think people have learned how to play around her and to not get countered as much by a Hela, even if you're playing a flying character like Storm or Iron Man, which I'll talk about later. But Hela's nerf is taking a lot of the lower rank players away from her because they don't understand that the nerf isn't as they may think it is. Although the next nerf is just kind of uncalled for. The King of Wakanda somehow managed to land himself a nerf this season, even though last season he was notoriously called the Tickle Monster. They nerfed Black Panther's survivability, making it to where the extra health he gains from his abilities went from 120 to 70 now, which isn't that bad, but still, Black Panther didn't really need a nerf. If anything, he needed a slight buff to his kit, or they could have fixed the no reg issue that's happening with him right now, in which you would dash at someone who you've marked and you don't get your dash back. I don't understand why we're nerfing him before we're fixing this, but whatever, we're going to move on. With that out of the way, I would like to talk about this season's meta. With the forefront leader of a new shift probably being Storm. Storm last season was a C to a high D character, almost a throwaway pick, a joke pick. Though now she has become a serious threat, with an increase to her general damage going from 50 to 55 and an increase in her projectile speed 100 to 150. Her left click now feels like a fucking baseball bat getting thrown at your nose over and over and over and over again. Being able to rack up ult charge insanely fast, which is almost unfair because the ult that she has is possibly top 5 in the game right now. Every time you pop ult, it is a support's biggest fear. You're going to have supports running away from team fights. You're going to create good space. It's a beautiful crowd control ult. And you should at least be getting 2 kills per pop of an ult, which is insane because you get it every single team fight. Also, with Hawkeye and Hela being nerfed, the 2 hit scan characters won't be able to shoot a Storm out of the sky. Therefore, she will be able to reign over lobbies, as well as her base damage multiplier being about, I think it's 8%. Also, getting a team up with Thor, giving her chain lightning. Now, you're going to have to really hear me out on my next talking point because it ties in directly with Storm. I honestly think we're going to see a lot more Black Widow, which I know it sounds insane because Black Widow is probably easily the worst goddamn duelist in this whole game. But there's something that I noticed. When playing Storm, if you have your base damage boost activated, Black Widow can now one-tap, which is I mean, kind of good. With Black Widow being able to one-tap and Hawkeye not being able to one-tap at long distances now, this makes Black Widow the only sniper who can one-tap at 60 meters or more as long as a Storm is present. Therefore, I think with Storm and Iron Man also being meta, I think that there might be a lot more Black Widow because she's a hit-scan sniper. As well as receiving a buff to her kit, making it to where her movement ability recharges and instead of 14 seconds, 2 seconds, now Black Widows can get around the map a lot faster and get out of fights a lot quicker. I think once Black Widow is learned more, I think Black Widow is going to be a serious threat this season. I also think there's going to be a big Punisher wave coming through. With the buff to his guns making it to where it does more damage, his shotgun can one-tap, as well as him getting an insane team-up with Rocket to where he doesn't have to reload. With Storm and Iron Man running around in the air, I think Punisher is going to be one of 2 characters that will be picked to counter this meta. Now it's time to talk about the last horseman of the duelist meta, Wolverine. They buffed his health. A tank player's worst nightmare is now even more unkillable. I think Wolverine, as of right now, is a must pick. He is either a must pick or an insta-ban in high rank. Wolverine is a genuine tank buster who can absolutely shred through teams if given the opportunity. Now that he is even more unkillable, I think that Wolverine is probably going to be played almost every game you see. Wolverine is genuinely insane, and I believe that once more DPS learn how to play him, you will not ever want to see a Wolverine in your game. I already don't want to see a Wolverine in my game when I'm playing Magneto, but if I see that they're running more than one tank, I'm instantly swapping to Wolverine. Wolverine is literally anti-tank. It's not an anti-character, he is an anti-whole segment of the game. Wolverine is one of the best DPS in this game, and if you think otherwise, I'm pretty sure you're silver too.
I hate to be that guy, but YouTube told me that only 8% of you guys are subscribed, so if you like this video and you want more content like this, if you could just subscribe to my channel, it would help push out my video. It would help promote the video to new viewers, and also, one day I would really like to make a career out of this. So, just thank you in advance, and we'll get right back to the video.
We get high.
When it comes to strategist play, it's almost the exact same on my take on tanks. I think we're going to see pretty much the same thing we did last season, but Invisible Woman now, instead of Mantis. I think Invisible Woman has a way better kit than Mantis, and that she has better healing output too, without being ridden to the orbs. Invisible Woman is a very, very strong character, and she is the only change I can really see being added to strategist play, except for Rocket. If Storm is really going to reign as hard as I'm predicting, I think that Rocket and Punisher will have a super strong resurgence due to the team-up. With the team-up, Rocket becomes pretty good because he has better healing output now, as well as the revive making it impossible to win team fights. Rocket is an overall pretty good strategist that I think will shine this season. If you've made it this far, I would just like to say thank you. I've got 2 teams here that I think are going to be meta. Our first team lineup is going to be Doctor Strange, Hulk, Iron Man, Wolverine, and then Luna Snow and Invisible Woman. And then our second team is going to be Magneto, Thor, Storm, Punisher, Rocket Raccoon, and Luna Snow. Thank you so much, and I hope you guys have a great day.